As Dr. Lisa makes a mad dash away from the clinic to get a haircut before the awards, she tells us one of her favourite stories on the way.
One time, I had Jason, our SPCA inspector, bring a shag in for an examination. Jason always comes in for a shag. And the shag was on the examination table and we checked it out. We did the veterinary care that it needed and sent it out to rehabilitation. And my next patient was a dog. And the dog was a Labrador. It came into the room and it was sniffing away on the table. And the owner was apologetic that this doggy was so out of hand, sniffing it away. And I said, "Don't worry, mate, I just had a shag on the table."
Ooh, Dr. Lisa, you are full of surprises. We heard a whisper that a mystery box is on its way to the clinic, but right now it's off to the hairdressers for Dr. Lisa, and being the passionate vet that she is, even before going in to get her haircut, she's already on the job seeing to Tina's dog, Kelly, who always welcomes Dr. Lisa for a play out on the back lawn and some medical attention she's needing. Now, time for the haircut. While we're waiting for Dr. Lisa's great reveal, and while we're on the subject of grooming, if you've been concerned about your pet's teeth or possible dental issues they may be having, Dr. Lisa has some helpful hints for you.
Dental health is so important for animals. Sore teeth can be very uncomfortable, and in fact infected teeth can actually lead to so many other health problems. Looking after your pet's dental health isn't too difficult. It often boils down to really good nutrition. We find that feeding animals with wholesome natural food makes a big difference to their overall health and vitality, and it keeps their teeth nice and healthy too. You can see behind me, there's progressions of dental disease. So this is a nice healthy tooth. It's beautiful and white. Those gums look nice and healthy. And as dental disease progresses, it gets this thick tartar on the teeth and the gums get inflamed and it gets worse and worse until you get to a point where there's such bad disease you actually have to extract those teeth. So we want to avoid all of that happening, and raw bones can be a very helpful way to do that, but it's very important to make sure that you do it in a safe way. For dogs that are prone to gulping down bones, that's a no-no. So you need to be feeding them with bones that are either too big for them to swallow, that they can just chew up, or things like raw chicken necks. But raw chicken necks must be from a reputable place or be pre-frozen so that they don't have any bugs on them. The other things that you can do is feed good quality treats that are helpful to break down tartar and avoid this scenario unfolding. And of course, supporting the immune system is another very important aspect of dental care, and again, that boils down to good nutrition. I once had this cat, Patty. She came down to see us all the way from Auckland. She was 21 years of age, and she needed to have a couple of teeth extracted. And her owner brought her to us because of our hyperbaric chamber and all the complementary therapies that we use to get her through the anaesthetic as safely as possible. So we put Patty under anaesthetic, and she did beautifully. We extracted her sore teeth, and she started to wake up. She was a bit slow with her wake up, but for a 21-year-old girl, that's to be expected. I wanted to keep her overnight just to make sure that she was stable and safe and sound, but her owner really needed to go back to Auckland that day. So we sent them home, and the next morning I made a quick call to the owner, just anxious about how Patty was doing. And her owner said, "Oh, she's very worried about Patty. She's been pacing all night, and she hasn't drunk any water." She said though that she did eat a whole meal, so that was a huge relief. She'd been eating a meal, and pacing is not a major for a little old kitty getting her feet back and recovering from an anaesthetic, so we were delighted with that outcome.
Back at the hairdressers, Dr. Lisa has a few rare moments to relax while getting her haircut, and a big night ahead at the Westpac Tauranga Business Awards. Just a few weeks ago, Dr. Lisa won the Young Reed Woodburg Young Business Owner of the Year Award, and now ARC and Holistic Vets have been nominated for this year's Westpac Tauranga Business Awards. We'll update you on how they got on after the break. Looking sharp, Dr. Lisa. Ooh-wee! Looking sharp, Dr. Lisa. So how does Dr. Lisa keep up the energy she has to do all that she does in the space of a day? Between all the incoming animals and wildlife, consultations, surgery, the whole lot, she keeps herself healthy in mind, body and soul by eating healthy, wholesome foods, exercising and heading off to the gym when the time allows. You are a powerhouse, Dr. Lisa. We check back in at the clinic with Dr. Lisa and Super Sue, who's about to find out what's in the mystery box that came in earlier. Shags are usually quite aggressive, but this one, found at the Mount, has come in very subdued and in a bad condition. Dr. Lisa and Sue examine him and decide what the best course of action for him might be.
So this shag is not quite as shagged as we thought it was, but he's certainly got really poor condition, and from the look of his poops, he's definitely got some kind of underlying infection in his gut. Whether that's secondary to an underlying issue, being an older bird or something else, we don't know. So we're going to just provide some basic supportive care, give him some fluids, antibiotics and some vitamins to pick him up, and just see how he goes through the day and overnight. And tomorrow we'll have a better idea. If he's doing better, then we'll know we're on the right track. And if he's not, then shag heaven might be the place to go. So we're about to give this shag some fluids and nutrients, antibiotics, and other things to help him to heal up. He's in a pretty bad way. For a shag to be this subdued means that he's feeling pretty awful. They're usually very aggressive and real little characters, and their beaks are so sharp they can inflict a huge amount of damage. So we'll know when he's feeling better, when he starts to get a whole lot stroppier.
Here's some amazing facts you may not have known about the good old shag. The shag is a strong flyer with glides and fast wing beats. It feeds by diving to depths of up to 20 metres. When nesting, shags communicate with throat clicks and at other times produce a loud rasping croak. In addition, male shags grunt and female shags hiss. Sounds much like human behaviour. Young shags have a high mortality rate, up to 80% unlikely to survive their first year, due to threats from predators. Join us after the break when Dr. Lisa is on air with her regular radio interview on that ridiculously awesome station, Classic Hits 95 FM. She has the cutest surprise in one of the mystery boxes for the ridiculously intelligent and good-looking Will and Bridget. And what is all the excitement going on back in reception? Now fresh, 100% grain-free natural pet food for dogs and cats. Brought to you by healthypetfoods.co.nz for a healthier, happier pet.